Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast. And we are looking at game 2 of the Nuggets and the Thunder here on Wednesday night. Also have an episode up about the other Wednesday night game, Knicks and Celtics. So make sure to subscribe to this channel. Continue to follow along with us for each and every game this postseason. Nate, let's go ahead and get right into it. Surprise, huge win there for the squad, for the Nuggets coming through, up 1-0. Let's get into your first bet and talk about this series a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the Nuggets are going under their team total here, 109.5. It actually bumped up 1 point along with the total because people are, all awash in what they did in the second half of that first game. But as kind of predicted, they did not have much success first half scoring the basketball. And I think the Thunder defense comes back with a vengeance here. I mean, we're talking 51 fast break plus second chance points against a team that was the number one transition defense. A little vulnerable on second chance points, but isn't going to be that bad again for the game. We're talking the Nuggets had 26 free throws in the second half, shot 47% from deep. They're not a good three-point shooting team. They don't shoot high three-point volume. Their best shooter is hurt very badly in MPJ. And I think the Thunder are going to be able to live with a lot of different guys shooting. Aaron Gordon, absolutely fantastic game. But as we talk about the series in general, how long is he going to hold up health wise when his coach admits that any jump could blow out his calf or worse? That could be a serious thing. But yeah, we'll talk about the series in a second and just kind of debate it. But just to point at another trend, game 2s for the Nuggets, the last 6 series, they are 0-6 to this number. And they are averaging 99 points per game. I just an absolutely falling off a cliff, even against the Phoenix Suns in a series that often they had 245 combined totals. For some reason, game 2 was just fell off. And yeah, we're talking 80 against the Wolves last time at home. And this Thunder defense, obviously no joke. As I pointed out, with the extra rest, they usually completely shut people down in the regular season. Playoffs are a different animal, but they're also a different animal in the sense that this could be a 109-106 Thunder win. That's far more likely than another 240 total like we saw in game 1 here. I think they'll probably do it with defense. So I just want to open a discussion a little bit because there's 2 intriguing markets here where if you think OKC, that was a blip, and OKC to win now in 6 or less is about even money? Or do you think the Nuggets are here to stay and you want to take this thing to go 7, not worry about who's going to force what or who's going to win at the end? That's about 2-1 on your money. And so, yeah, I mean, what do you think about those 2 options here going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's still really tough for me to say because I think there's a couple of things that you can kind of, I think they're a little bit more, they weren't flukes. You called some stuff, you called said, is it a blip? And I think that would be actually unfair to some of the stuff that Denver did to get there. Now, Jokic 40, basically 40-20, more than 40, obviously, but 46-20. Is that going to be something you can rely upon? All I know is I'm not 46, but I think he was insanely happy to see Ihart standing across the way from him as opposed to Zubac. And we talked about that a little bit coming off of that Clippers series that first of all, that we certainly seem to give too much credence to them coming off of a 7-game series when the last game they just played, they had locked up by the middle of the third. So it's kind of they really did seem to be able to give their guys rest and then just celebrate and chill. Now we come back and it's what do you change if you're OKC? Well, I said at the end of the day, to answer your question before I say that the X factor to me is Aaron Gordon. To answer your question, I think the best number is 7 here because I would really not look to have an OKC to win in 6 kind of ticket right now. I think we're going to continue to see that guys not named Shy need to perform. And Aaron Gordon being the X factor is based on he wasn't there for the regular season games. Even the one game he played, he started out hot. He had 5 points, 2 boards in the first 6 minutes and then gets hurt and he's out and he can't guard J-Dub. J-Dub goes for 47 PRA in one game. He's just going all over the place. He was going to be an X factor, except for I don't like the matchup for him with Aaron Gordon. He abused Desmond Bane in the last series, and this ain't Desmond Bane in terms of Aaron Gordon. Plus, you have the 3-point shooting. He is the guy kind of in the corner for them at this point. He's shooting more corner threes than Christian Brown. It's kind of him and Russ that are getting left open there. That's another area that if they can exploit, then it's for real. So I would rather not hold a ticket that I needed to depend on OKC winning this thing so quickly until I see that I can totally trust the others as well outside of SGA to score in these big moments. It's how they lost to the Lucas squad last year, was guys not named SGA were left open to shoot on purpose. And that would be my fear in this one. But Lou Dort did come through, and I do like him in this series a bit. And I'll actually just start with him as my first look here, because he had a good game, and that was a big reason why they were in it, or they were leading for a while and were really holding a comfortable 10-point lead consistently. A big part of that was Lou Dort shooting. He was 4 for 9 from 3, was not afraid to take it, and he was the guy left open by Denver, and I think they'll continue to do it. And if he's going to get 9 looks at it, then I'm going to give him the 3 makes for pretty much flat on the odds there. And if you look at the attempts, this is what I always look at, right? We always talk about this with the threes, is just simply, how many do you think he's going to take? Is that a good number based on the percentage of a shooter that he is? Do you think he can make 3? Yeah, he's better than a 33% 3-point shooter this season, having a really good season doing it. So I'm going to continue to believe that even if he's not the focal point of this offense for the Thunder, they are going to keep having to move the ball around the horn as they continue to force the ball out of SGA's hands. This will be the guy that they leave open on the attempts.
Yeah, I mean, he might spend a little more time on Jokic here in game 2, which I guess maybe you get the cross match, maybe you get things a little more scattered going the other way and get some opportunities. But I mean, I'm still more interested to talk about this series overall. And I think you have convinced me that the 2-1 on it to go 7 is more appealing than saying OKC's about to just wrap this thing up. Because Gordon and Jokic, like, they just make the Thunder seem light. Like Chet is just too light. I mean, and Hartenstein, they added a piece that can help here, but yeah, it's a long way from Zubac. Dags is a great coach, but he is not scheming it up the way Ty Lue / Jeff Van Gundy were able to. Like, this is a breath of fresh air for the Nuggets, who obviously you add the experience factor, they can pull out these close games. The Thunder, you wonder if they were just so amazing in the regular season. Because it's just a different sport, and the way people like schedule in losses, and they were just like, oh, we're playing the Thunder, like, rest people, like people. It's just completely different than when you're in a back and forth series like this. So I do think, I think the Nuggets are going to somehow, as long as Gordon stays healthy, I think they're going to drag this thing out. My second pick, though, because I think the Thunder are pushed here, is more Alex Caruso, please. Over 8.5 points. Basically Drew Holiday in the Western Conference, but he only plays 24 minutes. I don't know if that's going to continue. Like, I think there's some data here to suggest that he's going to play a little more at the expense of Cason Wallace or whomever. But over 1.5 steals is also a good look here. I'm not really going to mess with the rebounds and assists. That's, his assists have been all right, but I think the number's a little high right now. I think he's just underrated as a scorer, as just like a dog, as somebody who's been in a lot of wars and a lot of playoff games and is actually a vet here on a team that needs a veteran presence and somebody who's not scared to play off shy right now. So you look at actually the last 2 months, February and March, that mattered against Western Conference playoffs teams. He averaged 11 points per game. He would have been like 7-1 to this number. He played Denver twice in there, scored about 1.8 points per minute, shot 61% from the floor. And his last 4 in the playoffs, as Dags has kind of leaned on him a little bit more, like, okay, like after the extreme blowout where he had 0 points in the opener, things have gotten a little more testy in terms of Memphis actually putting up a fight. And he's averaged 12.3. He's had 3.5 steals per game. He's plus 12.5 net, 65% true shooting. Again, why is he playing only 24 minutes? He's 100% on his drives with a 33% assist rate. Cason Wallace is 17% shooting, and he has a 7% assist rate. Caruso is also third on the team in terms of assist points created and passes, and he's the third best defender in terms of defensive field goal percentage. And Cason, in this last 4, has allowed 4 for 4 on his individual defensive field goal percentage. I'm not saying Cason Wallace is bad. Isaiah Joe was bad in game 1, though, first of all. So I think that's one less guy to worry about. But I mean, Caruso is just, that piece you went and got to like help you pull yourself out of a spot like this after going down 1-0.
Yeah, for Caruso, like not only do I think they need to realize, they already realize how good he is on defense, but the realization of not just how like good he is on offense, but more how important he is to a playoff roster as a guy who's been there, got a ring. I don't know why he got chased away after that in LA, but he's got a ring. He knows what it takes to be here. And there's just too many guys on that squad that are not that just don't have that experience. And it's a different ball game in the postseason when you're like, okay, the best shot is Isaiah Joe in the corner. Okay, but what if Isaiah Joe's not hitting? And then you pass it to him in the corner and he doesn't want to take that shot anymore. That's a real thing, man. There's the human aspect of all this comes into play big time in the playoffs more than the regular season when you're kind of like, well, is this guy going to care because it's February? That's the sort of human psychology we're using to break down bets. Now it's pretty reliable. Just take a look at him, man. One of them's deer in headlights, and Caruso looks like he's been there before and he wants all of the smoke. So I would definitely continue to, I hope Dag sees that because I see exactly what you're seeing there with Alex. So let me close it out with CB and taking over on the rebounds. It's still 5.5. I think this is going to be 6.5, at least by tip, if not a bit earlier, because like to me, like there's so much data telling us that not only is he good, the hit rate is good here in this situation against this team. It's been that way in the playoffs, and like the rebound chances really tell the story here that he's up to about 12 per game versus the Thunder on the season. Had a couple bad games there in terms of the boards during the regular season in terms of after the first, it was like the second two games, really didn't get very many rebound chances, was the guy guarding Shea the whole time. But this time he also is, except for they're a lot more willing to give him help down on the when he gets inside the 3-point line. And then CB, while he's not coming off of SGA, he is able to also then he's now the guy who needs to go get the other guy. Right. So when a double team comes on SGA at the top of the key or like right above the foul line, Christian Braun, once that pass is made, it's now up to him to go to the guy that was left open more so than the other, which is usually like Jokic coming up to help. So that does put him in position to be off ball a little bit, even when he starts the possession guarding SGA. And that's what I saw was from the defense from Denver, was just them continuing to feel more and more comfortable, switching and playing a little bit of a sort of pseudo zone as well to allow Christian to bump off of that. But the main point here is the rebound chances are at 12.5 per game versus this squad. And in the playoffs, they remain up there. And I no longer feel scared with Christian Braun rebounds that he's guarding the main shooter and main ball handler. Yeah, but they're going to continue, I think, to force other guys to beat them than SGA. And that's going to allow Christian to then sag off and go get his boards.
I mean, it was a 20 rebound advantage for this team. Obviously, Brown and Aaron Gordon and Jokic with huge totals. I'm surprised he didn't go back to Ago, though. Like, if we're going to rely on somebody time and again, he's at 6.5, not 5.5, I believe. But yeah, if he doesn't get the SGA assignment, and he's obviously, like we're saying, has just a physical advantage over most of these Thunder, who, yeah, if you pick one thing they've struggled with, it is rebounding and dealing with big physical teams and dealing with Aaron Gordon. So I might go back there, maybe his PR, because he's just been so key on both sides.
Yeah, no, I'm with it. I like Ago as well. There's a few things I think I'll continue to play after seeing what we saw in game one. Felt like going a little bit light. I don't even think I actually got down more than one bet in that game for that Thunder game. And now I think I'll have a few more on the card because we know a little bit more, I think, about how these teams are going to play each other. So that is all the time we have for you in this one, though. Make sure you are subscribed to that channel. Don't miss the Celtics and Knicks game we've got up for you as well. And until we see you next, happy betting.